Welcome. So in this video, we'll be answering this question before us. It says the minimum value of the function. And as you can see, we have g of x is equal to this, but we also have a restricted domain that we really need to take a note of. So let's just really make note of it here. So this means I have a restricted domain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a few different ways to answer this problem. Now, obviously, in a test or exam situation, you wouldn't be doing it multiple ways. You would just do it one way. But I want to show you the different ways you could approach this. So I'm going to show you how to use your CAS to do it. And then I'll also show you how to do it by hand. And then you can determine which is quicker. Okay, so if we were to do this with the CAS, what we're going to do is simply put in our information to begin with. So let's come over here, let's open this up, and let's type in that we have g of x, and we're just going to define it. So we're going to go control this, and then it's x plus 2. Then we square it minus 5, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put in our domain. So we have to put this such that, and this is from 0 to infinity. So that means x control this is greater than 0, just like that. Then we hit enter like that. So we've got x plus 2 minus 5, where x is greater than 0. Now that we've done that, if you wanted to, you could come to your graphs and you could just give it a quick graph. So I'm just putting in g of x there. And now I could go menu, analyze graph, minimum. And as you can clearly see, my minimum is going to be -1. So remember, you're reading off that y value there. Another way to do it, so that's our answer. Our answer is -1. Another way to approach it is, instead of graphing it, you could go menu, and you could actually go calculus, and you could go function minimum. Then you could go g of x, and let's solve it for the x value. So what this is telling me is that my minimum occurs when x equals 0. So to therefore find out what my minimum value is, I would go g of 0, and that will give me -1 out. So as you can see here, -1, -1, I'm getting out that answer. So that's how to use your CAS to do it. So that's the first thing I want to talk about, how you could use your CAS to figure out that the answer is going to be -1. The other way to do this is just to do it by hand. So because this is in turning point form, it's not that tricky to do it by hand. What we would do is this. We would come here. I would just draw it a little axis. This is telling me I'm going 2 to the left. This is telling me I'm going 5 down, like that. So it's going to look something like this. And then this is telling me it exists from 0 to infinity. Well, if that's true, that means it's only going to be that, which means my minimum is going to be occurring there. Therefore, to find what my minimum is, I'm simply going to go g of 0. If I was to put 0 in here, I'm just going to end up with 2 squared, which is 4. Then I'm going to minus 5. So that means g to the 0 is equal to -1. And that's what d is. D is -1. So the question is then, therefore, which is quicker, the CAS or by hand? It might determine on the specifics of the question, but it's important that you know both ways of approaching this type of question. Hopefully you found this useful, and I'll see you in the next one.